This Spider-Man suit was never sold in the US. When we were all kids, we all had a Spider-Man suit like this. These things are so iconic. I mean, what's not to love? They always look pretty good for the era when these were coming out, and they're put together pretty well. After all of this time, kids just started getting pretty cool looking Spidey outfits again with Spirit Halloween. And so did the adults, so go watch those videos. But seriously, these kids' costumes were pretty sweet back in the day. The details were actually cared about, with a sort of 3D webbing on the costume. Now, the bodysuit itself is cut off at the hands and feet. I believe they made separate gloves and boots for purchase as well, but I had a really hard time finding any photos of these. The only ones I did find were these gloves, which I do remember, but I thought there was actually something a bit closer to the actual costumes. Either way, these things are super cool, and I wish I still had one from when I was a kid, just as a memory. They had the kids covered back in the day for Spidey costumes, but what about the adults? Well, they didn't leave us with much. As you can see, these don't look too great. It definitely gets the job done, and it functions as you need it to for a Halloween costume, but that's about it. It's also identical to the kids' version of the costume for Spider-Man 2, with these super oversized muscles. It's got the same setup as the children's costumes too, with no gloves or boots attached. However, in Japan, a company named TRANTRIp got up to some pretty interesting things during this trilogy of Spider-Man films. I ordered this off of eBay, from a seller entitled Mia's Cosplay Room. She actually has an Instagram where you can message her any questions about the products listed on her page. The package arrived in a nice bag, and it included a pretty cool graphic sheet, which is very similar to what you'll get in other Halloween costumes. Now, a lot of this is in Japanese, so I used the Google Translate camera feature, and you can pause and read it if you'd like. What's super cool is it is very officially branded, of course with the giant Spider-Man 3 logo and a pic of black-suited Spidey. You can also spot the Marvel and the official Spider-Man merchandise logo from around that time. Everything was still in its separate plastic packaging, practically brand new. And here's what's included: the mask, the gloves, the boots, the pants, and a separate top. Interestingly enough, the back spider of the suit is the correct gray color, matching the webbing. But when we turn it around, the front logo is pretty small and still black for some reason. Thankfully, it's not too hard to make out, but it is just pretty odd. Why is it that on the graphic that's included, the chest has a silver spider, but on the actual suit, it's black? It's pretty questionable stuff, but who knows really? It could have been multiple different things that decided that during the production process. Either way, this thing is extremely interesting, so let's check it out in detail. This is like the perfect in-between of full cosplay and something that still resembles a Halloween costume. This is akin to what we call a 7-piece in the Spider-Man cosplay community, and that's because, well, yeah, there's 7 pieces. To be honest, these aren't the most practical Spidey suits, especially as a beginner, but once you get the hang of it, they're technically the most accurate to the comic books that you can get. I absolutely love having the ability to take off my gloves and boots, but it's undeniable that one-piece cosplays tend to look a lot cleaner. Now, because this is a 7-piece, it's pretty easy to conceal under your clothing as well. It's a fun feeling being out in public and thinking, nobody knows, but I've got the suit on right now. Sure, the collar sticks up a little bit out of my sweater, but depending on what you're wearing, this goes completely under the radar. This is TRANTRIp's Spider-Man 3 suit. This particular costume has a really fun way of coming together. I like the detail of the belt being sewn into the top of the pants instead of on the shirt. This gives you the ability to sort of tuck in the top, so it's a bit more form-fitting. It's also pretty dang easy to match up to the other webbing. Let's take a look at these gloves. I'm honestly pretty dang impressed with these. Costume gloves have always been a huge dice roll for as long as I can remember, and they normally just don't fit right at all. But it looks like this company actually took the time and effort to craft some comfortable gloves. These slip on super easy, and the fingers don't actually feel out of whack. There's elastic in the top of the gloves to kind of hold them in place once you put them on, and they feel pretty solid still, which is impressive after all of these years. The elastic in the boots, on the other hand, didn't seem to hold up so well. These function super similarly to the new boots on the Spirit Halloween Spider-Man costumes. It has padding for the ball of your foot and your heel, with a small elastic strap following under the arch of your foot. On one of these boots, the small elastic on the bottom is unfortunately like barely hanging on. This is either from old age or someone putting a little too big of a shoe in it. Either way, this is a quick sewing fix and it'll look like nothing happened. The only real issue that I have found with this costume is that the elastic in the top of the boots has been overstretched a ton. I'm not entirely sure how to fix this without opening the boots completely, so I've just kind of let it be for now, and it kind of fits with its age anyway. I honestly think these look just fine when the whole suit is put together, but they're definitely reflective of the time when this was made. Zooming out, let's take a look at this guy as one full piece. The nostalgia here is tough. In its own way, this thing is gorgeous and super comfortable. Seeing these shots of the suit makes me think of the deleted scene we got of black suited Spidey swinging around the city. It's not the most accurate suit in the world, but it just feels different, in a good way. I really love this thing in its own special right. I've had my fair share of high quality Spidey suits in the past, and those are absolutely great, don't get me wrong. But there's just something about this being so close to the ones from my childhood, and it actually fitting pretty decently that puts it above some of the others. Now, normally these reviews will lead you to a website that you can purchase the suit from, but unfortunately today, that's not the case. You can find more of these out there in the world, but I mostly just wanted to show and tell you guys about this super cool product that we never got our hands on before. If you try and go looking for these, I wish you the best of luck. It took me quite a while to find this one myself, but hey, thanks for hanging out, and let me know what you think of this suit in the comments below.